Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We've had a lot of very major and very impactful things revealed for the Season 2 update coming up here on February 15th for all modes, Warzone 2, DMZ, and Modern Warfare 2. And today I wanted to highlight some super important things that you might want to take advantage of before Season 2 drops here in just a couple of weeks time, because these are things that are going to basically be unavailable after Season 2 launches. So it's pretty limited and pretty exclusive here that you do get this stuff done, because it's no longer going to be an option once that Season 2 update is out. So initially here we got some very big reveals for DMZ and how things are going to be changing here in Season 2, as we are essentially going to see a whole new wipe, similar to how Tarkov has its wipe updates where they reset basically all your progress in game. We're going to have something similar to that here in DMZ as well. And this is going to be something that happens every single season moving forward. So here's what Call of Duty had to say about this in specific. They have their seasonal refresh. All new missions are coming to Season 2, including a refresh of your current faction mission progress and inventory, including all contrabands and keys. Those are all going to be resetting. We'll be detailing all the need to know intel for DMZ ahead of Season 2 in an upcoming blog. So their wording here, I'm not going to lie, is a bit confusing initially. Now it's very straightforward. All your contraband and all your keys are going to be resetting. So we're going to get to that here in just a moment. However, I want to focus on the faction mission progress here, because they say there's going to be a refresh of your current faction mission progress. Now, initially, when I read that, I just assumed that if you were on tier 3 for say Legion, that your tier 3 Legion progress would be reset. So come Season 2, you'll be tier 3, but you're going to have all new missions, right? Well, it turns out that doesn't appear to be the case. It actually appears that we're going to have a much larger reset than that. And this is coming from Geeky Pastimes over on Twitter. He was basically talking about this refresh and how he was worried for it. And he confirmed with one of his contacts within Activision and within Call of Duty that if the wipe meant going back to tier 1 or if it meant just having your current tier reset and having new missions there. And apparently Activision confirmed that this is a full-on wipe and everyone is going back to tier 1 for all of their factions. So it doesn't matter if you're on tier 4, tier 3, and tier 2 right now, respectively, for all 3 factions. Once the Season 2 update drops, we are all going back to tier 1 across all the factions. So that is a whole lot of progress that is being reset, and no one really saw this coming. So this means that before Season 2, you need to do a handful of things within DMZ. First up, if you are close to finishing any tiers for any of the factions right now, grind them out. Make sure you get to the next tier up. So if you're really close to getting to tier 3, make sure you finish that out. If you have 2 more missions you need to complete to upgrade to tier 4, make sure you finish those out. If you're not that close to finishing a certain tier and you just have a couple of individual missions that you're close to completing, make sure you focus on those rather than trying to start any new missions, because the rewards for the missions that you're close to finishing are likely also going to be reset. Obviously, basically every single certain mission in any given tier for any given faction in DMZ is going to give you that specific reward, right? But those are not going to be there once Season 2 drops, because like they said, we're going to have all new missions. Then of course it was much more clear what's going to happen with your actual storage and inventory here. All of your contraband guns that you have right now are going to be reset completely. So your entire stash is going to be reset here. Also, all of your keys as well. So if you're someone who is actively, saving up keys for certain missions, you want to go ahead and knock those missions out, because those keys are not going to be available in the next season. Also, though, if you're someone who is stocking up on keys for Building 21, so you can go through and do that, you want to make sure you jump into Building 21 before the end of the season and use up all your keys and get as many attempts out of that as possible, because while Building 21 is going to remain in DMZ in Season 2, again, your keys are going to be resetting. So any DMZ Building 21 keys you have in your inventory right now that you're like, oh, I'll just wait till Season 2 to use those, they're not going to be available. So all of that is resetting. All of that is wiping. Make sure you finish your missions and you use all your contraband guns that you want to test out, and you use all your keys for your missions or for certain areas before the wipe happens on February 15th. Now, those are the more mode specific things. We also have a few more general and broad things you might want to look out for before the end of Season 2 as well to focus on here. As we get into those, just a reminder, if you're new to the channel, every single day I am your one-stop shop for all things you need to know about Call of Duty, whether it's Warzone 2, DMZ, or MW2. So if you want to stay up to date, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Join us ultimately on the road to 1 million subscribers. And if you guys enjoy this video, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. Let's try and aim for that 2,000 like goal on this one. Really do appreciate all the love, all the support on the channel as of late. Now, of course, with season 2, we're going to see a brand new battle pass drop as well. That's a seasonal thing, pretty standard. It's been that way for several years now. That means if you have not already finished your season 1 battle pass and gone through and unlocked all the 100 tiers for that, you want to knock that out now, because all the content there, with the exception of our 2 weapons, the Bass P and the Victus, are not going to be available once February 15th comes around, and once the season 2 update is out. That content is going to be locked away and gone forever. Now, the weapons themselves, those will likely be transferred over into new challenges. So, you know, get 5 double kills with an SMG, get 10 long shots with a sniper, or whatever the case may be, might unlock you those guns. But everything else, the skins, the blueprints, all that stuff is going to be reset as well, and will not transfer into season 2. That'll be a fresh new battle pass entirely. Also, any unused battle pass tokens are not going to transfer into season 2 either, unless they are tokens that you got from the vault edition of the game and you did not spend. Those are the only tokens that are going to transfer from season to season. Any other unused ones will be completely reset as well. There is also one other pretty important thing you want to look out for if you are someone paying attention to the camo grinds, or if you're still leveling up your weapons as well between MW2, Warzone 2, and DMZ. You want to make sure you are leveling up and also completing camo challenges for the overpowered guns and most dominant guns in the game currently, because Raven and Infinity Ward both confirmed that with the season 2 update, we are going to see significant weapon balancing and weapon tuning, which means those top tier, those super good guns right now in all modes are likely going to be nerfed. So if you haven't gone through and done your camo challenges on those guns yet, you want to do those while the guns are still really good, right? Just to make your life a little bit easier. If you haven't leveled up those guns yet, you want to make sure you go through and finish out those levels to make your life a little bit easier. We're talking things like the Fennec, like the RAL, the 74U, the RPK, the TAC V, I would say maybe the M4 and the TAC 56. Those are a handful of the guns that are the most reliable and most consistent between MW2 and Warzone 2. Of course, the actual weapon tuning itself is going to be different for multiplayer and Warzone. However, the guns themselves are relatively the same between each mode as it stands right now. So definitely make sure you finish up those camo challenges for those guns. Make sure you finish leveling those up. That way you don't have to go through and waste time with the lesser versions of those guns where they're not hitting as hard, where they're not killing as quickly. And in turn, those camo challenges, those leveling up, grinds become a little bit more tedious and a little bit more obnoxious. So Season 2 is going to be changing a lot. When it comes to the resets that are happening, they are going to be very drastic. So if you're someone who wants to get the most out of Season 1 here in the final couple of weeks, definitely make sure you pay attention to everything we went through here in this video. That said, that is going to wrap things up for this one. If you guys enjoyed, or if you found it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new to the channel and you want to guarantee you're always up to date with all things going on in COD, make sure you subscribe with those notifications turned on. As always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code WhosImmortal for a discount on all Scuff, G Fuel, Control Freak, and Gamer Advantage products. And the links for all those will be down in the description below. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.